All right, happy Saturday once again. Oh God, I feel like I just got up. Kind of, I sort of did, but which time, right? Hang on, I gotta mute this one. All right, here we go. All right, so what I did was, usually I'll get some sort of a download or something where I can, like dictate. I'll dictate something throughout the week into my phone. I'm really having a hard time seeing. I had an aura migraine where I kind of I lose sight. I'm not gonna say I go blind. That's kind of dramatic. I lose sight in like a certain area after having it, and then the headache lasted for like 2 days. So I was on the ebb of that headache last night. So this week with that stress, and I was probably really dehydrated. That's probably what brought it up. But the thing is that it impeded what I got. Typically, I'll get like really these passionate little bits and pieces of information, and I really didn't get that. So this morning, literally like 2 seconds ago, now that it's 12:02 here, there were a list of things that Stone and I had talked about a few weeks ago, and so far we have not talked about 2 of those items, but she mentioned the one last night. It did kind of manifest itself, didn't it? And it was the flares and power grids. And because I'll write down exactly what she says, but there's an inference in the tone of voice as to what people might think that means, because it could be taken a couple of different ways. So flares and power grids, and then the phrase after that was just losing control. And we did kind of talk about it a little bit last night too, about some of the loss of control. But who's losing control? Right? So in the middle of last night's live, we lost, she said there was like a lightning strike close enough by them that it had her drop her signal. So we haven't had any issues here yet. That's why I say it feels like everybody's saying like, oh, Dookie's gonna come down. It's like, I've been hearing that since I was a kid. Yeah. So things are happening. Things are always happening. As you progress through life, certain things become more aware. And it's like, oh, well, compared to what it used to be when I was younger, it's really different now. But, people can always say that. That doesn't change. We'll always be able. And I'll even admit to it. Things feel really weird right now. So, and that's okay. Because the weirdness, I'm kind of weird anyway, but just talking about who's in control, well, who's losing control? I don't know. I think ultimately we are in control. You can see my boom right there. Hopefully the sound's all right. Anyway, flares and power grids and losing control. So that's kind of like the theme-ish sort of a thing that I'm gonna look at it a little bit, but it feels like these things that are gonna be happening, as far as I don't know that I subscribe to losing control, because that is a perspective. Push you down that. I just had like this thing in my head, the steep hill, the little wooden box car, and you're in the box car and the brake is a wooden stick nailed to the outside of it and you're pulling on it, and it's either rubbing on the ground or you're trying to have it work on the back wheels to slow this down. And it's like, there are consequences to our actions, and you want to be the bug or the windshield. It's kind of like that. That's kind of where it's at. Bug or the windshield, but flares and power grids. So And I don't know if it's necessarily flares, it might be power surges. If it's a natural power surge, will probably be okay, but I mean, artificial. I have a surge protector, it's for the inside, so when you have a lot of different appliances that might turn on and off, that's where the power surge can cause a problem and it'll flip the breaker. It's like an extra box in there. Anyway, if you're thinking about, well, you know, lightning strikes, there is nothing that can keep you from having your house go and everything gets fried. It's just too strong. And that's why it's a good idea to ground your house. Get that big old copper rod and the copper wire and attach it, and it goes right into the ground and it attaches to the foundation of your home. Mine's right, like, there's a window right here, like right down over there, outside. But it's important that we stay grounded, because if there are power surges, if there are things that can cause, you know, issues emotionally, psychiatrically, we need to really stay and be grounded ourselves. So that, I think, is pretty much the focus of it. And I'm going to try and reach out to Stone and see what's going on there. I might reach out to somebody else and try. I don't know if it's going to be recorded or live, but I only have the weekends that I can do this. Obviously, I have a full-time day job that I would like to see, you know, be second and turn into a part-time thing, because this is like way frickin' more fun. So anyway, let's get, and I don't think I recorded it, so I'll just download it. I'm going to turn the sound off. I'm going to go over to the cardboard. I saw something there. The card table. It's not a board, but yeah. And then I can just switch the camera over, but it's going to go quiet for a second. So, because the chair's really loud when I roll it, it like blows up the microphone. Okay, you should still be able to hear me really well. Yep, as a matter of fact, because it seems to be a little on the directional side, it's actually not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so let me turn the camera back on, because that'll be helpful for you to be able to see the cards, right? Look at that, like magic. So I'm going to take a little sip. I have some ginger ale already. Ginger ale I found, real ginger, and it's made with sweetened with agave nectar. So you get that nice little ginger burn and a little bit of sweet, heaven in your mouth. And that's a treat, because I don't do cakes, pies, cookies, candies. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. All right, so I did not do my little mantra, but as always, we definitely do. You know what, I'm going to have to do like a pick a card, pick a crystal kind of thing. I've been kind of feeling that, and I just haven't had the energy, because when the camera goes off, it's like those lawn things that blow up. It's like the fan gets turned off. We see a lot of them right now because Halloween's right around the corner for us. So anyway, we are going to receive the information clearly and succinctly from the original source, thought, and word. And all energies that are benevolent to us will provide assistance for clarity, because we technically are all one. Some just have a better vantage point. Wow. Talk about an outpouring. And it sounds like for these surges, it is going to be some new startups. This is the Fox, the Fool. We're going to have a lot of faith in ourselves. I don't know if I see anybody or anything coming up. And then we're just, yeah, it's like hang on for the ride. It's going to be a new beginning, and it's like we're going to, let me see. I don't think there's any clarity in this that I would be able to get from the, no. I'm getting, no, this is really good. This is exactly what I'm supposed to be getting. Is that with a traditional card, he's sitting in a chair, he's got one under each foot, he's got one on his head, and he's clutching onto this one. Well, this guy has got these above him, and if they drop, they're his, and he's hanging onto this one. So we have everything that we need. We just have to be willing to, this is like a faith card. And it's definitely going to be a minimal impact. And it looks like things are going to double up. Oh my gosh, this has got to do maybe with the money system, y'all. And even the earth grid. Because these are all pentacles. That's the 7 of Pentacles. So notice these are in the trees. And these are in the trees. And these are kind of out of reach. So it's almost like these are available or going to be available. But it's not sequestered. But they're in a safe place. So our resources are safe. And it might be an illusion that we're being told, more than likely, that things are, oh my gosh, more pentacles. So, yep, we're going to have to take that leap of faith. We are going to have to hang on. Just hang on to your britches, man. Don't feel like you got to be the little bandit. We have to remember where things are laid out. You know, squirrels don't remember where they plant stuff, right? Hey, Arizona, I'm really far from the keyboard, so I can't touch it. I'm probably like 5 feet away. So yeah, this is definitely about money. Definitely, and about the earth and the earth grid. It's the earth grid. It's not even necessarily the power grid, this artificial power grid that's set up. And there's only so much that things like CERN can do, and those might be crumbling. Because this is 8. We are working hard. Isn't that the 8? That's the 8 of Pentacles. This is all about the earth grid. And this is natural. This is not artificial. So it's kind of like maybe the idea that she had said that losing control is that they never really had it to begin with. And this is what we need to keep. We need to keep our faith in who and what we are. And wow, Queen of Wands. So she doesn't give a rip about anybody. She does take those risks. She is a risky chickie. And something might come up about her later. But yeah, that's pretty interesting that kind of tied into something Stone had said a couple of weeks ago. It was like 3 weeks ago now. Might even have been 4, because we've been trying to get all these. There was like 4 or 5 things she gave that we never really touch on. And I know she does other recordings and whatnot of some of the other people that we talk to. So that's worth checking out too. So let's see what else we can kind of get maybe some insight on a preparatory type thing, because it feels like we got everything that we need. We just need to be made aware of what these things are, and we have the confidence. So we have the resources. We just have to embody this Queen of Wands fire. Ooh, maybe there's something in it about fire. Let's find out. What else? What else? Okay. So, 10 of Pentacles. Talk about wish fulfillment. thought life, mind, the thoughts, the energetic impulse. It's like an impulse to not carry forward with a good thought life. I don't know why that, because that's usually it's thoughts and words are swords. But this has something to do where it's going to really affect the earth grid, which it does anyway. But I think it's going to be an even bigger, oh my gosh. Four of Swords. Rest, relax, recovery. And really, it's almost like this is over here. So we've embodied it, we've embodied what's necessary, and we need to take that time out. And I think that this is definitely a rest period. There's going to be some quiet time. And I don't think it's necessarily a resource reset sort of a thing. It's more of us getting mentally prepared for some of the earth grid things that are going to be shifting. Yeah. Definitely. So there's something up with this King of Pentacles. So he's not only, he has a lot of resources. I think he's also very resourceful. I'm going to look to see what, because this is a different book. This is not like, it's not even close to being traditional. So the King of Cups, I think he can kind of be serious. Or the King of Pentacles, did I say King of Cups? I was actually looking at that the other day. So we are working hard, and that's also the Eight of Pentacles is working really hard. So we have accomplished the work, but with focus, we are making progress. And this is said we're working hard to finish. This is finished. So staying loyal to yourself, staying trustworthy to others. And you know, some people think that stubbornness is not a good thing. Again, moral judgment when you say good, because stubbornness can be very, very helpful. Let's see what else. We are going to skip those. We are going to go to these. These have been really, really insightful. So these will pop out and tell me things just as I'm shuffling about something that it's like, okay, well, that's not anything I was thinking about, but it'll tell me things that are relevant. It's like, okay, is this about me? Is this about, okay, it's not about me. Am I, you know, so I kind of have to do a process of elimination as to what these things are about. So this is a really insightful, for some reason I've connected really, really well with this. I thought I had another deck that was really pretty, but the card stock was so bad and the images were great, but unfortunately they were cut off. Symbolism was mangled. It's like not happening. So I'm still on the look for that Oracle deck. I'm not going to do my own, because I refuse to. I would have to use something like AI to even come close to getting that accomplished. All right, and I have been getting this card come up a lot around summer. So when we see cards like this, I'm tempted to say which summer. I'm tempted to say, okay, so it's around summer, these, and I don't think it's going to be coming to fruition. It feels like maybe things will be completed, but we don't have, maybe around summer. But we don't know if that's next summer, 2 summers in the future. Maybe that's not even laid out yet. Ooh. So it might be 3 summers. Because it feels like there's some time that's needed, unless they can, I don't think they can get it done in 10 months. Unless we get evidence here. So to put a time frame on it, I don't know. But there's evidence, law enforcement, temptation, so criminal, and it's avoiding the 12. So again, this is all about it's that exposure time. What are we going to do with it? How is this going to affect us? Is it going to make life better? And I saw this too. There are people that are going to get shamed. They're going to be humiliated. And there's going to be evidence for that. And that's part of the crumbling system. But that's outside of us. This is us, and it's like, this is them. This is them leaving. Them being those who are not beneficial to those of us trying to make this a better place. Things need to happen in a different kind of sort of way. And it feels like they are. Yeah, and I was up really late last night too, so my voice is probably a little raspy. That seemed to have cleared up for a while. Yeah, we're gonna need some patience. We are gonna definitely need some patience. Not just with time, but with deeds. We might have to be a little more aware of maybe some details that might come up. Be a little more, use a little more critical thinking, and that's where we're going to find this in this Four of Swords. We're going to rest, relax, recover, and that's when we do that, we are able to clearly see things. The masks will fall away. Not only others, but we all wear masks, so our own masks will be taking the high road. Alrighty. What else do we have? I just saw that, and that's between worlds, and that kind of feels like where we're at right now, right? At least it does for me. Feels like we're between worlds. Alright, hands are too small to do this. Alright, so what else can we get as far as this earth grid, some of the spikes that we're going to see, even shutdowns? It's gonna come in, not really waves, but it's going to come in spurts. And maybe that's why her words were so abrupt. Because I wrote exactly down. It just flares and power grids losing control. Some of it's going to be artificial, some of it's not. But it's whatever's going on in the earth grid is definitely going to affect the other stuff. Okay, so this is celebration worthy. And connecting with, we're going to be happier definitely if we are connecting with the community. If we're going through all of this. And whatever that community means for you, we'll see how that all plays out. Alright, they're definitely looking for the magic here. Which is an interesting word or concept in and of itself. So, what overall energy can we embody? Whoa, that's a quick answer. What energies can we embody for? And okay, that's something to look forward to. Any more? One more? Depends on whether I can. Oh gosh, how about 2 more? So yeah, it's going to feel like a miracle. Oh my gosh. All right, we have to embrace the 12, the change. The frequency of change supports our ability to gradually dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and birth of the new. So that's kind of what we're going through here, right? I'll put that right there. So that's a cool card, ain't it? So embrace the change. And yeah, I think that is going to make us happy. And we are in a transitional period. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence in our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. And that's kind of embodying this with the Fool, hanging on, knowing we have everything that we need, but also not forgetting to do that rest and relaxation, something that I am not the best at doing. This is going to manifest miracles. This is number 33. This is miracles. These are the coolest cards. The frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves and part of Source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. So I think getting rid of all of this is going to really perpetuate. That's the miracle. Leading to maybe prosperity? What do y'all think? There's a 10 of, what was that, 10 of Pentacles down there. Prosperity, 36. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. That's now. Because we have everything now. It invites us to express ourselves in joy, celebration of the abundances and riches that the universe provides. And you know, when you hear people say, I just can't wait till blah happens. I just can't wait until X happens. Well, it already has. Embody it, live it, maintain it, and that's how things physically manifest, because everything starts with a thought. And it's a foundation. This is a root chakra. Frequency of root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. How apropos was that? I mean, dang. That's just like trippy. That is the foundation of all of it. That's almost like, it's the starting point. It's the foundation. It's the starting point. So I'm going to be prepared for your things to get kind of blown out, because I'm going to roll my chair across the floor here. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. But I can switch the camera back over. Might twitch a little bit, but... Okay, sounds good, Arizona. Yep, I just got back over here. Okie doke. You just have to let me know what time. You have my number. We can make something happen. We'll be in a little bit better headspace anyway. Because there's just been a lot for, I think, a lot of people. And that rest, relax, and recovery is going to be critical for most of us, and taking advantage of that is really going to be super important. So I think that's all I got. I've really only been doing about 30 minutes. Yeah, we'll definitely coordinate. I need something that's going to coordinate me. Oh yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. This had to have been done, yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago. The 19th of September, and today is the 4th. 10-4, baby. So yeah, we got a couple other things. We really didn't talk much about these balls of light. I think I talked about it a little bit. I might do my own little thingy-dingy with somebody tomorrow to kind of get somebody else's ideas as to what they are. There are definitely subliminal messages. And I people talk about the catastrophes with all these flares and the power grid problems. I think that that's always been a thing. But again, it's what we're all used to, and we kind of get hooked on certain modalities, certain things and equipment and all that. Oh my gosh, when I got up, you talk about heavy energies, I bought some small leg weights because I had some recent injuries to my knees on top of the old ones. And it was interesting. It felt like I had them on this morning. It actually, and some days I'll get up and I'll feel it on my shoulders. Today, it was all on my legs. It felt like it was really hard to move. It took a lot of effort to do it. So it was kind of weird. I've not ever had that happen before. So it's going to be a day of staying hydrated. I'm going to do that for a Pentacles thing. I am just going to try and chill today, and then just get as much as I can done tomorrow, because it's going to be full noise Monday morning, and it's going to be another interesting week. Another interesting week, but heavy, and I think a good word to describe the heaviness is the density. So it makes me, maybe it's like oobleck, you know, the cornstarch and water, and if you go real slow, you can make it through. You just kind of pace your hand going through the oobleck, but if you smack it, it's like hitting cement, because it's called a non-Newtonian fluid. It doesn't have time to move out of the way. So once you hit it and you keep pressing down, it'll just sink down. But yeah, it's kind of like, not really like quicksand. Quicksand is kind of like that, but not really. All right. I don't think I have any more questions. I think one of the things, though, that is popping in is the idea that we are definitely in control. And what is going to be beneficial for the rest, relax, and recovery is using our vision and envisioning what our personal heaven would be. I've achieved that a couple of times and been able to maintain that, but with the recent energies and events that I'm in the middle of processing, it's a little more difficult to maintain that. But when we envision our heart's desires, that we can embody that energy, and we can lift that. That's exactly kind of what I did with the heaviness I felt. I just had to sit for a minute. It ended up being like almost an hour, but it took some effort to acknowledge it and dissipate it or change it, however you want to look at it. So use your inner vision and create your earthly heaven, because that's, I think, what we're going to have to do right now. And just create a scenario in your head, maintain that. I mean, I have 4 things that I will have to constantly remind myself of. And it's not like repeating a mantra. It's like I look at them, I have pictures, and then I embody those feelings that are around those, enveloped in those, and enmeshed in those concepts. And that's what's really been helpful. The challenge will be that as if there is something underlying that's not in the forefront, like maybe something in the subconscious, that I need to make sure, is anything there? I'll have to ask, is anything there? Does anything need to change? Have I addressed it? And I will ask myself that. Have I addressed this? Why? And then all of a sudden you'll get this, pang in your gut of like panic or fear, and this is not irrational for me. It's definitely something where, boom, a thought will come in and I'll get that feeling in my gut, and it's like, no, I'm not accepting that. And so far it's been working okay, but it's going to take us, we're going to have to be more diligent with it. use our vision, use our inner vision for our own personal heaven and our own heart's desires to kind of make things work. So anyway, I think that's all I got for today. Do like, share, subscribe, hit that notifications button. I think I got some fun stuff coming up. I like doing my human encounters. If you have anybody that you think you might want to see on human encounters for an interview, I'm looking for people who have an interesting story to tell. If they don't want to have their face on camera, that's fine too. So I'm keen with that. Alrighty. I hope everybody has an absolutely fantastic weekend, and I'll see you all on the flip side.